Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin, and I'm joined here today by Mr. Sean Higgs and Jesse Schul, regular guest on the show. You're watching the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, and we're sponsored by GamblersWorld.com and also GamblersWorld.net. One side, the .com, is our video section, and the other side, .net, is where you'll find 10 of the best handicappers in the country, including us three. So you want to visit that new site, folks. We got picks up every day for you. And I know these free picks are great. It's if you could win, it's free money in your eyes. But at the end of the day, this show is just not about making free pick winners. This show is about educating. If you could pick something up that we discuss on a daily basis and pay attention to the analysis we use, and when arriving at our picks, you'll be better off for it if you're going to really have a decent chance of winning when it comes to sports betting on a daily basis. Anyway, Mr. Sean Higgs, how are you?
Well, I got to say, since the Gamblers World Net site goes live, I was on a nice 18-8, 18-10 run coming into the break. Yeah, 3-8 since the break. I blame you, Ross. I blame you.
Hey, I got broad shoulders. I've been blamed for a lot less. Jesse, what's going on, my friend?
Well, it's been a slow start to the summer for me. The results haven't been fantastic lately, but I am full of confidence. I feel absolutely invigorated. I'm supremely confident about the second half of the summer. And I won't get into that now, but we'll talk about that a little later after we give out some free picks. And I'm feeling strong too. I don't know if you guys
listen. No, Jess. We'll talk about that now because Jess sent me a picture from a span of last year and a span of this year. Identical numbers again. Did you send it to Ross?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Sean, you don't know how excited I was about that. I found that to be so exciting.
I mean, Jesse talks all right, here's my June to August, and I'm gonna throw out a number 55 and 22 or something. Whatever, then he shows me a stat where he's a 8 for an 18 run, the same exact week or something. I don't know those exact numbers, but the same losing record 2 years in a row, the same time span, and then you expand it over the 3-month period. It's nearly identical records.
Yeah, that's eerie.
Very eerie. But that's just the consistency of Jesse. All right, this is what I'm doing. I keep to it. Yeah. X amount of games. This is what I like. There's no real variance.
Sean, even though the record's subpar, it just gives me so much confidence to know that basically I'm right on track. Yes. I'm right where I was last year. I had a fantastic year last year, and last year at this time I was in the exact same spot with the exact same record. And if I can put together the exact same record for the rest of the year, that's going to be very good for me and very good for people that follow me, and that gives me a lot of confidence.
But here's, they talk about we say picking up little things. That is the discipline right there. Because most people, and we keep track of our stuff. We're oh boy, I got to peel back. I'm doubling up doing this. You got to be consistent. Win or lose, it's all right, we're betting. Saying we're not going, everything looks great, I'm going to bet 9 games instead of 3. Or things are bad, I'm not doing anything today. You like what you like.
Yeah.
And that's what your numbers show.
You lost 8 units during those stretches. And, but, again, you're talking about consistency. I think we could use better examples than that for Jesse in terms of consistency. Not to rain on either one of your parade in the subject matter, but, it's more eerie than anything, and it's more unusual than anything because not only with identical, but him having a stretch within that time frame that he did not make money, which is very unusual for Jesse, because if you followed him over the last couple of years, he's been, right around 60% in all sports, not just football, not just baseball. And by the way, folks, Sean Higgs, this one guy's got a crusade going. Me and Jesse were discussing it the other day. in the comments section that he's got an anti-Sean Higgs crusade going.
I saw somebody says, yeah, I don't like the other guy. You know, like,
yeah, it's like what you could do without Sean. Sean doesn't qualify. I don't trust Sean. Okay, you made your point.
Really? Is he still in the comments? Says he doesn't really?
I took a couple of them down.
I'll leave him up there. I got to get into
wait.
the
I
comments
answered the one. Okay, I did answer the one, and I let him know that Sean's going to be on the show as long as he wants to be.
Listen, if it's because I got some losers, well, I got some losers. I'm sorry, I can't win every game.
My point being is, you know,
if it's that bad, go opposite me, you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, there you go. Right? I mean, and on the other side of the coin, it says if you check his NFL last year, he went 64%. Not only 64%, but he's a volume handicapper. I don't know if the guy's talking about you not being qualified to be on the show. I don't know too many handicappers that put out as many games as Sean did last year and win at the percentage he did. And
well, I mean, maybe from the fact that I attack him a little different than you and Jesse do.
Yeah,
the way I come at him.
It's just a different style. But I mean, again,
different.
let me say this, because now I'm going to get animated, which could happen about once a show. Look, here's the bottom line. I know a lot of you want us to give you our best bets. Let me ask you a question. Anybody who feels that way, what do you do for a living? Think about that for a second. Now, what if your boss asked you to come in, like I asked these two guys to come in, not to say that I'm their boss, but it is my show. What if your boss asked you to come in 5 hours a week and work for nothing? And if you do a good job, it may lead to something. You won't do it, okay? So stop complaining about free pick results. We want to win, okay? At the end of the day, we make our livelihood on our own bets, and we also make our livelihood on the picks we sell, the subscriptions we sell. And we're hoping that we're giving you a foundational base. If you don't want to invest, that's okay, okay? But don't complain when we lose on occasion. When we went over 62% for over a 12-week period of time a couple months ago, I didn't hear a peep out of any of you. Okay. Did you give us a tip? Did you go and buy at least one package just out of courtesy for how much money we made you? No. Okay. Probably not.
I think some of them might have.
Yeah, probably not mostly. Okay. But we're not complaining about that. Okay. So don't complain about us. And anybody I get these guys that come on, what's the sense of doing the show if you're not giving us your best picks? Really? When was the last time you went to a restaurant and they were giving away free prime rib? Come on, man. Be real, okay? And I know a couple of you will get pissed off and comment about it. Guess what? I don't care, okay? Because we're here to teach, educate, and you think we don't want to win these free picks. But at the end of the day, folks, if we have 5 picks written down on NFL Sunday, you're getting the 5th best pick as a free pick. And our paying clients are getting the other 4. So again, this riled me up only because this moron who's got this anti-Sean Higgs thing, and I love Jesse, and I'm glad you love Jesse, but is it necessary to say I don't like Sean?
Very embarrassing for me, by the way. Very.
You know what though?
Yeah,
I don't mind. Like, okay, if we're not hitting, I don't like it. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand. Like, I don't want to come on and lose. I mean, especially here's the thing. You come to free pick video. I want them to win more than almost the other games to win, because this is the one that's going to get the most views as opposed to like your client kind of stuff, right? This is things that people every day. A lot of people don't buy it. They just want the free content. They hope they win. Like, oh, he's got to know what he's talking about. Well, I want to win the game. They lost.
So another subject that's coming up and I need to address, okay? Now that I'm on my, I got my dukes up, is the fact that there's commercials in our videos. Folks, we don't control that, okay? Come on. We go over 9,000 subscribers. That's what YouTube does. It's their policy, okay? And if you can't just take a second, hit the skip ads button. then I feel sorry for you. Okay. And I don't want to say anything more because now I'm a little riled
Now
up.
you're gonna get demonetized and all the thumbs down are coming.
Oh yeah.
I want to say one thing about Sean. For anybody out there that thinks that Sean might not know what he's doing, clearly you haven't seen his Look Ahead Lines show. You watch a couple episodes of Look Ahead Lines, and there's no doubt that Sean Higgs knows what he's doing. Anybody who watched his Look Ahead Lines show during football season last year profited greatly from it, myself included. Yeah.
You buying Sean's picks, Jesse?
I'm following his Look Ahead Lines.
You don't have to buy. You go to Look Ahead Lines on a Sunday night, you'll get the entire NFL card. I'm like, this is what
that's true. And I watched it mostly for confirmation bias. Occasionally, Sean might have spotted something that I didn't see, but I found it worth my while as a pro to watch Sean's show because he's giving you he's basically giving you the best handicapper in the world last year was giving you his whole card on that show late on a Sunday night.
The best NFL handicapper in the world. Yes.
Yes. Anybody who doesn't see the value in that is high.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or mentally unstable, which not only are there some people out there that are mentally unstable, there's guys in our industry that are.
I don't mind come in and criticize. That's fine. I'll take you do videos for years and years. You're gonna lose, and I'm here. I'll take my arrows.
Some of you give me a lot of compliments, and I'm extremely appreciative of such. I really am. But if indeed you're the same guy giving me a compliment and you're criticizing Sean, then you're not giving me credit because I've made these choices. I'm sticking by them. And these two guys here, along with Doug Upstone, who have been with me for the last few years and to get us to this point, I'll never even give it a second thought how I could replace them. These two guys, if they don't want to be on the show, it's their decision, not mine, or not Jim Quinn's. Okay.
One last thing, and we'll move on to picks. People are probably like, "This is 15 minutes of ranting." I definitely want to win free, like everybody, right? Any kind of pick we have out there, we want to win. We're in a position where it's kind of like, all right, we move on. It's easy. We've been doing this a long time. It's our mentalities. The average person probably watch videos, doesn't have the background management. They're going to double down like, oh, he lost yesterday. He can't lose another one. Because, if they like your game or mine or Jesse's or whatever, you get the confirmation bias. You'll be like, well, they like it too. It's going to win.
Yeah.
You double up. Then they're in trouble. I hate when a game loses.
Yeah.
Because I could withstand a loss. I can go 3-7. I could go 5-25 and it's not going to affect my family eating.
Yeah, Chip Chirimbus
we could take a losing streak.
Yeah, Chip Chirimbus is back on his show with me. With us. And, veteran handicap right now at the top of the leaderboards, even though it's a short sample size over at gamblersworld.net. But we always used to say prior to you guys being on the show when he did it with me in the early stages is that, we have a losing day. It's hard to get our head off the pillow the next day because, we work so hard at our craft, and unlike any other business, we don't get paid. And for the most part, we may get paid on a losing pick, but we're not going to get any kind of residual business if we lose consistently. So again, folks, this is not a free pick video, which a lot of people in this industry are doing. I'm not criticizing them. This is a podcast. And for those of you who are going to complain about the rants that we're going through right now, I understand, but all you need to do is go in the description box. Mr. Jim Quinn, our owner, Seth, our graphics guy, and also a guy who handles a lot of the stuff for us on this show. Take the time to get a specific time frame in which each one of us is releasing our free pick. So if that's your mindset, that's fine, okay? But that's not what this show is about. Anyway, let's get to the free picks. I mean, we were going to talk some NFL, but I'm glad we had this discussion, and I can assure you folks, these discussions are few and far between, but it takes everything in my power to be composed and answer in a professional manner. But at times, some of you cross the line. And like I said before, you're disagreeing with our picks respectfully, okay? Disagreeing with another subscriber's comments respectfully. That's all okay. Okay. It's when you start with the name calling and the insults, and you make a comment about Sean, for example, and then you follow it up in the same day with 2 more negative comments about Sean. And by the way, the day he was making those comments, Sean won. I didn't hear from you on that. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Chicago White Sox and the New York Mets that I will be discussing. Jesse's looking at the LA Dodgers and Baltimore Orioles. And Sean, I know you got a bad taste in your mouth from the Yankees and the LA Angels last night.
Oh my God.
What happened to the Yankees bullpen? Anyway, over the last week and a half, they've been terrible. But I'll let you take it away, Sean. The Yankees and the LA Angels, Domingo Germán against Patrick Sandoval. And right now the LA Angels are -110 and the total is 9. Take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going. It's a first 5 over -105. First 5 over, 5 runs, Yanks and Angels. And I did. Yeah, I'm upset. I had the Yanks and the over last night. And normally I wouldn't be on a Yankee in that kind of spot. Or coming out of Colorado, I don't like that. Yeah, I think it's just a bad travel spot and all that other nonsense. But the way the Angels played the last couple games versus the Stros, I'm like, you know what? This is a total flat spot. Right, they're blowing leads. They're coming back. They're losing late again. Ohtani's might be dealt. A big cloud over us. We're 1-8 the last 9, and yet Yanks blow it. Hey, let's pitch to Ohtani. What's the score? 3-1. 2 guys. We'll throw him. Yeah, let's. What are the chances that guy gets a hit?
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, some of the decisions that Boone is making. I gave him a lot of credit for having a lineup that has so many holes in it, like he has, and with other than Garrett Cole doesn't really have a top 8 starter. And he kept them in, wild card contention all this way. But the way they stand right now, Sean, barring them making some major moves at the trade deadline, this is not a playoff caliber team. Agree or no?
And yeah, he had him in 3rd place at the All-Star break with Cole and then no pitchers and then a lineup that was ragtag at best, terrible. But, so we got Germán and Sandoval today. I'm going to go over. I know the Yanks are a poor hitting team, but Sandoval's been really bad at home. It's batting average against a 303. Like, I don't care how bad a team is. You're giving up a 300 batting average at home, ERA mid-5s. And let's be honest, the Yanks in last place, this is desperation time. You better start doing something. And if you're really a bad team, the Angels could hit. We know that. They can hit a little bit. Forget about Trout. They have a veteran kind of lineup of guys in there who are good but not great, and that's why they're where they are middling. But Germán, he's got the perfect game. Yeah, it's like complete game. Great out here, but we see him give up 8 runs. 7 runs.
He had a real good outing, as I recall, in his last one before the All-Star break.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad his last couple starts. 3 runs in 10 innings. Yeah. But again, he's a 5-inning guy, and the Yankee bullpen is good. I don't think it's that good, and I'm not worried about the bullpen. I'm taking out of the equation. Even if they come in and nail it down late, I think the Yanks are going to score early against Sandoval, and I think the Angels are going to get to Germán. I'm not going to be shocked if Ohtani hits another home run here in the 1st inning. I'm going to go over to 5. I think both guys give up a few.
Yeah, and the perfect example what I'm talking about with Boone, Germán's last start, he went 6 innings. Gave up 2 hits, a solo home run. That's it. That was the only earned run he allowed, and only walked 1. Was at 74 pitches, and he pulled him out of the game. And I get the 3rd time through the order analytics, but at some point, baseball is baseball. The guy is having a good day. Keep him in for at least. He earned the right to go out for the 7th inning, in my opinion. Okay, so again. Another perfect example of what I meant in terms of the Yankees bullpen, Jesse. They were extremely good up until the last week and a half in terms of season-long statistics and performance lines. And they've really let the team down over the last week and a half, blowing leads. A perfect example of that would be in Colorado on Sunday. Last night, the 2-run homer by Ohtani. I'm not sure if that was from the starter or from the reliever, but
as a reliever.
Yeah. So their bullpen has not been, which was their strength, which saved them on a lot of occasions, is not their strength anymore. So your take on what Sean just said in his pick.
Well, I was with Sean having the over last night. I was disappointed with the final score. We did see 6 home runs in Sunday or Saturday's game, 7 home runs in Sunday's game. They've been having trouble keeping the ball in the park in LA with warm air and wind blowing out. It's supposed to be sort of mild temperatures and mild wind tonight. Still a hitter's park, though, and two struggling pitchers, two inconsistent pitchers. I see where Sean's going with the over. I really would not want to have a side in this game because at this point, my money's not going to be riding with the Yankees or the Angels. So
let's not get carried away with the Angels because I believe they're like 3-13 or 3-12 in their last 15. Jesse.
Yeah, two teams that I don't want to be on is what that is.
All right, I said enough about that matchup. Well, let's get Jesse. Let's get Jesse into his game. He's going to be talking about the LA Dodgers at the Baltimore Orioles. Real good interleague matchup. Michael Grove for the Dodgers. Tyler Wells for the Baltimore Orioles. Right now, Baltimore is a $1.25 home favorite. The total is 9.5. Interleague matchups. I went in length about this yesterday with I believe with Doug and or Chip. I can't recall, but to me, American League versus National League is not what it used to be. Okay, first of all, it used to be a rare occurrence every year. You get about 20 games for each team as an interleague matchup. Now the DH is universal. National League teams don't have the advantage going to their park where their pitchers are used to hitting, used to laying down bunts and playing that National League style of baseball. Now it's a level playing field. So the interleague stats that, for example, Fox Stats put up, Jesse, I'm unimpressed. I mean, because it's like, why does certain pitchers not get run support and others do? There's no rhyme or reason. Anyway, go ahead, buddy.
So when we give out these free picks, we're judged on the results, but there are some picks that I feel so strongly about that I have found a great bet and I'm on the right play that win or lose, I feel comfortable making that pick. And one of those was one of the last picks I gave out on this show. It was the Reds and the Brewers. It was Corbin Burns coming in as a road favorite in Cincinnati when Cincinnati was the hottest team in the league. And I took the rookie Abbott, who had fantastic numbers, way better than Burns. I took him +0.5 for the first 5 innings, and I lost that bet. But you can't convince me that I made the wrong play in that game. And this, I feel the same way about this bet here. You got the Dodgers that won game 1. They've won 7 of their last 8. They're averaging 8 runs per game during that span. Baltimore has won 8 of 9. They're averaging 7 runs per game in that span. You got Grove struggling mightily for the Dodgers, 1-2, 6.89 ERA. He's 0-1 with an 11.15 ERA in 4 road starts. The weather today in Baltimore, it's a hitter's park at the best of times, warm air, wind blowing out. They're calling for some runs. The total's at 9.5. The team total, though, for the Orioles, who are the favorite, is 4.5 minus 125 at Bet365. That's less than half of the total. And they are the favorite and they are the home team. They get the last at bat. That's the right play. Regardless of what happens, that's the right play. You heard it here first, over 4.5 minus 125.
Yep, they get the last at bat as long as it's a tie game or they're losing. But using the what Jesse just alluded to is if the total's 9.5, they're the favorite in the game and their team total is 4.5. Do the math, folks. That looks like a pretty good value to me as well. Sean, what do you think about what Jesse just said and the pick in general?
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you, this is you want a good premium pick? I got the Orioles. It's in my 3-pack. I took Wells and the O's. The guy's been fabulous. He gives up 2 runs. He goes out there 5+, 2 runs, 6 innings. He's solid. Grove's a gas can. 4.5 team total. I mean, I'm thinking this game is like 7-2, 7-3, something along those lines. Orioles in a rout. Yes, take the team total. What you said? What, minus 125? Sure. Juice it up. Go over 5.5. Go to 6 and get plus money on it. I think they crush Grove. He's not pitched well. Even it starts out of the bullpen when he gets one of those. They start a bullpen guy and he comes in for like 3 or 4 innings. He still gives up 4 runs. He's 4 innings, 4-run guy. Michael 4-1 Grove.
There you go. Michael 4-run Grove. And if you think these guys are kissing each other's ass, that's nothing new. In any event, I like to think it's brilliant minds thinking alike.
That's what I'm hoping. I need a win. I told you I'm 3-8. I need to win here. So hopefully,
and I
right.
go back to Jesse's point when me and you did the show on Saturday, Sean. The Houston Astros -1.5 was my.
I had a run line, and they were up. They were
9-3 going into the 7th inning. They tie it 9-9. Game goes extra innings. Jesse, they score 3 in the top of it. Well, Jesse, you had Houston in it.
Oh yeah, I had that game, Ross, and it wasn't even my worst beat of the day.
The Canadian
I had a CFL team up 16 in the final 2 minutes. They lost outright. Turned the ball over twice in the final 2 minutes.
You can't make that up. You can't make that up. Even in the CFL,
you can't kill the clock in the CFL.
Yeah, well, you only get 3 downs. Yeah, I get it.
Holy cow.
Anyway, let me get to my game, and so I got time to make sure these guys get their promos in. Chicago White Sox and New York Mets. I'm going to just concentrate on this. The first 5 total, which is 5.5. The Mets in their last 8 games played 6-1-1 to the under, and their offense is just horrible. As a matter of fact, over their last 5 games, they've scored 2 runs or fewer on each occasion. Over their last 7 games, they're hitting .211 as a team, and their OBP, on base percentage, a miserable .272. Hard to generate offense with those kinds of numbers. The Mets also, right now on the money line, they're -115. This year at home, when they're between +125 and -125, they've played 13-1 to the under. Lucas Giolito, last 4 starts, an .081 whip, and he averages 6.5 innings pitched per start. Carrasco, who has not pitched good at home this year, but he's a 5-6 inning type of guy, even though last start he pitched 8 scoreless innings at Arizona. Very impressive. But over his last 3, a 2.12 ERA. And like I said, 8 scoreless innings in his last start at Arizona. I don't have confidence in either one of these bullpens. And the total in this game right now, I believe, is 9 or 9.5, but the first half total is 5.5, based on the fact that I don't have any confidence in either team's hitting ability or to score or generate offense on a consistent basis. I don't trust either bullpen. I'm going the White Sox and the Mets under 5.5 in the first 5. Jesse.
I've got something written down here. The batter versus pitcher stats. I did notice that the White Sox, not everybody in the lineups faced Carrasco, but the guys that have the veterans batting .343 over a combined 67 at bats. I believe the Mets are only hitting around .219 in their previous at bats against Giolito. So I would lean toward the White Sox for the first half.
Yeah, I almost went that way. I did almost go that way. So, and I still may, because my premium picks ain't up right now. But good point, Jesse. And again, 67 at bats hitting .343. That goes against what I'm thinking or hoping. But in any event, we're not always going to agree. And if you have a point to make like this, we do, even though it might be contrary to what the other person needs. It's not two-sided in the game. It's just unveiling as much information as you possibly
And to be fair, we don't discuss the picks. We have no idea what each other are going to pick.
Exactly.
And if I got something written down, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to hold it back, and neither are you guys. Right?
Absolutely not. Because again, folks, that's a little tidbit that maybe you should keep an eye on going forward, is how a starting pitcher does against the current roster in terms of batters and what their career average is against that starting pitcher. Anyway, Sean, real quickly, an opinion, and then we need to move on.
I swore I would never take the White Sox. I had Giolito over Steven Matz coming into the All-Star break, and they couldn't hit Matz. And then coming back out of it, I said, you know what? I'll take Kopech here, plus a 195 versus Charlie Moore, and he's pitching really well. They lose that game. And then they win back-to-back games with
by decisive margin.
with Lance Lynn on the hill over the Braves. But I got to lean White Sox here. I mean, Cookie Carrasco and the Mets are just a bad. They were plus 110. I wrote it down. It was going to be my look at line show last night. And I ended up doing some college football previews, but it was 110 last night. I don't know what it is for the game. I know I said I don't want to bet the White Sox. I can't. They hurt me so bad, but I'll be back on a bad relationship. Let's go Sox today. I like Giolito. Let's go.
So there you go. And Sean, tell the folks what you may have coming up. You already said you got a 3-game package up at gamblersworld.net. Anything else you'd like to share in terms of streaks or anything like that?
No, as I said, bad out of the gate. I'm 3-8 here in second half so far baseball.
You're
Sorry,
fine.
YouTube haters. That's it. It's the
you know,
truth. You can't hate me. How do you get upset? I tell you the truth. Go
We
opposite. I got to tell you, we're not
We
winning.
beat on our chest when we win, and we're transparent when we lose, folks. You can't ask for better than that.
I got to pull the old. We always
on
get
a
on Jesse, like
positive
you can't get too hyped up about the win. So I'm going to get really animated about my loss, and maybe I could flip it and get on a win streak.
Yeah.
But midday money, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs. Come say hello.
What about at night?
I'll look at lines. We do. But again, that varies time wise because it's I got to wait. Sometimes there's not enough lines up, and there's something else on the channel. Usually around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern. I throw it up there. But again, notification while on, so you know it's live. But you can listen after the fact too. You could be.
It's the archives. I mean, we put a lot of emphasis on live shows. I'm not a believer that gives you a head start on anything because 95% of people listen to the archive. Yep. There's a reason why AM radio shows don't do as well as they used to in past years because you got to be there at a specific time. A lot of them have gone to archiving. Haven't said that, but Jesse, I'm going to have you start doing Sean's promos in the future, and Sean, I'm going to have you do Jesse. So, but Jesse, I'm going to ask you just to do yours today.
All right. Well, if anybody missed what we were talking about earlier, we were discussing my numbers for the first half of the summer. Last year, in 2022, I was 58-52, down 782 units. This year, I've struggled out of the gates for the first half of the summer, 58-53. That's within one game. And the units are 30 units apart. That's like a third of a game. So the identical record, it's not pretty, it's not great, but I feel comfortable because last year, for the remainder of the summer, from July 17th on, 72-39, 65%, 1,969 units. That's what we're looking to do for the rest of the summer. And if you doubt that history repeats itself, all you got to do is come see me at jesseshul.com and I'll prove it to you.
And the guy who's been picking on Sean, if you continue, we're going to send Jesse to talk to you because I'm going to put up a video on gamblersworld.net today. Not a free pick video, not a podcast, but Jesse's weightlifting prowess. And you might think again before you say anything bad about any of us. Anyway,
Derrick Henry's shaking in his boots. Let me tell you, I'm feeling pretty good these days.
Exactly right, my friend. Exactly right. Anyway, you could find all of us at gamblersworld.net, including myself. You could also find me at my personal website, rbwins.com. Last night, cashed in with the Detroit Tigers. -126 is my 10-unit game of the month. And so hopefully the winning continues throughout the course of the week. I'm due to go on one of those torrid runs. Right now, it's been a lot of back and forth. So visit us all at gamblersworld.net. Folks, don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is the Winner's Circles Sports Betting channel, take a second to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. No strings attached. Absolutely free. And there's a like button at the bottom of the page. And Jesse, smash that like button. Anyway, until the next time, for Sean Higgs and Jesse Shul and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless.